Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time you are, wherever you are. It's morning here. I just finished school runs, morning drop off, and I just feel it's high time we started talking again. I hope you're all good or fine. Yeah, so let's get into it. So there's this thing that's been pressing on my mind for a long time, and I'm going to be sincere. Something happened this morning. Like, you just see something sometimes, and they press the urge that is already in your heart further. Yeah, I would admit that's the situation. But yes, let's talk about it. So I've been having the urge to talk about the need to have a goal for your parenting journey. We know that when you have children, you protect them, you provide for them, you care for them, the everyday stuff you do as parents. But I'm not just talking about the everyday sort of thing here. When I say setting a goal for your parenting journey, I mean setting an expected end, like expected outcome. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to create in, with, or through your children? It gives focus to everything you are doing. And it can be different things for different people, different goals, different focus. It can be anything. But it's important that you have a goal for this journey. It's too important not to have a goal for it. An example of that I've come across is someone saying that he's just raising his kids for when he's no longer going to be there for them. I think that looks towards independence. And we know that a time will come in our lives, in the children's life, where we will no longer be there for them, where we will not be reachable, be accessible to them. So he wants to have kids that will function well when he's not there. That is a focus. That is a goal. Or maybe you're even still there, you're accessible and all, but you want to raise kids that will grow to a point where they are no longer going to be needing you. We know that as long as we have our parents in our lives, there will be time where you just need their advice, their support, whatever, maybe emotionally, maybe psychologically. You want them to share their experience with you, to help you. That's okay. We have a lot of adults now these days still depend on their parents. Decisions, they almost cannot do anything really serious without the contribution of the parents. So I would agree that it's a good goal to say you want to raise your children to not be like that. I've also had a friend and a colleague that said that all she's on about with her children is raise happy and responsible individuals. And personally, the focus would be raising independent individuals who are also maximizing their potentials. Now, what this does for you is, Bishop David Oyedepo used to say something that if you don't know where you're going, everywhere will look like your destination. But when you know where you're going, when they say let's go here, let's go there, you pause and look and say, is this where I'm going? Is that where I really want to go? If it's where you want to go, then well, by all means, let's go. It's going to be a ride. But if it's not where you want to go, you will be able to say no. You know that this place is not where I want to go, so I am not going there. Or like, oh, that's where I want to go to, so I'm going with you. More like gives you direction. Even with the everyday stuff we started with in the beginning, it gives direction to how you do them. Having a goal, a focus, shapes the everyday stuffs you do. It shapes the challenges you introduce your children to. It shapes the exposure you allow them and at what time. It shapes the kind of activities you permit around them. It shapes even your relationship with them, the things you do, the way you do them. It shapes a lot of things. And that is what I mean by it gives you direction. You don't just do things anyhow. Because I must confess, it bothers me these days when you see parents who just wake up, feed their children, they throw money at everything, just as long as there's money, the child is feeding well, the child is not sick, is okay, then everything is good. And then it goes on like that, day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out. And then a baby grows into a toddler, from toddler to school age to teenager. And the moment children are at that teenage age, it's almost over because the child is almost an adult now. And that's the stage you look and then you realize the child has no concrete education, no skills, no real value. I mean, the child has just grown up. Nothing more. The question now would be, what kind of life do you expect that child to lead? What kind of adult do you want the child to be? What kind of value do you expect that child to have? What kind of contributions do you expect that child, now an adult, to make to the society, even to the family? Yeah, I know we can only try our best. And as for us that we are Christians, we are children of God, we can trust in the help that is available in God to help us, to guide us, to lead us. But as a parent, what are you doing in your own capacity? How do you know? How do you judge if you're doing the right thing, if you are doing it the right way? There are two different things. You can be doing the right thing and not doing it the right way. What is the standard? How do you set the standard? And what is the expected outcome? What outcome are you expecting? Because that will help you to assess whether what you are doing can reasonably lead to your expected outcome. I feel it is very important for us to think about these things, because you have a life, like an entire human being. Scratch that. Generations. Because every child in your care is a link to many generations coming after you. Whatever you are depositing in this present child has the potential of flowing to these generations that they carry. So when you are dealing with a child, better believe you are dealing with generations connected to them. So what is the seed you are sowing into that generation? What is the work you are doing for that generation? These days, it just bothers me a lot, because when you look around us these days, especially the teenagers, the behaviors, the changes, the way of life, all of these things are pointers that something is wrong with parenting. Something is wrong from home. Parents are doing some things wrong somehow. I just want you to think about it. I want somebody to think about it in your own small capacity. There is this saying that if you want to change the world, you start by changing yourself. Maybe making changes in your small units, small community, and all of that. But just starting from you, just think about it. Ask yourself questions, especially if you have children. Talking children now, we are not talking your biological children you gave birth to. Any child in your care, any child that you are responsible for, think about what you're doing with them. Ask questions. Be honest with yourself. And honestly, I would recommend, if you think you need help, go for it. Because personally, I believe that to be successful in the journey of parenting, you need a whole community of like-minded people who share the same value with you. We know that there is really no end to parenting. It's more like a lifetime commitment, lifetime job role. But talking about success, the goals that we have been talking about, these setting goals, the goals that you have set will help you to measure, to assess your performance, so to speak, your progress, what you are doing. Like I said, I don't think there is an end to parenting journey, but the goals that you have set will help you to know whether you are moving, you are working towards success, towards the outcome that you have set. You'll be able to assess at every milestone of the journey. Like, we have milestones, like bus stops on a journey. So you have every milestones where you'll be able to more like audit the work so far, from your perspective, from the perspective of the child, assess how you're doing, how you are faring, if you are doing the right things, if you are doing them the right way, if you are progressive, if you are productive, what are you doing, what should you stop doing. You'll be able to tell because you have something that you are looking at. And even when you decide that you need help, these goals will still help you to narrow it down. What kind of help do you need? Where should you seek help? Just think about these things and know that whatever you are doing with your child now, you are dealing with generations. And everything you are doing now has the potential to pass down that generation. It is very important that you set goals of the outcome you want. At least have an end goal. Have a picture of your future, a future that you want to create out of that journey. It is very important. And another very important thing that it will do for you is it's going to encourage you. Because yes, you will have different stages where you will feel discouraged, overwhelmed, frustrated. But when you have these goals, they will encourage you. They will more like re-energize you when you think about them, when you look at them. It's more helpful when you write them down and you look at it. But even if they are not written physically anywhere, please write them in your heart. Like, just have that goal in your heart, something you are looking at as you run. The Bible says, write down the vision, make it clear so that he that run will run with it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope I'll see you in my next video. And I pray that God will help us